Hi, this is Rainbow Harmony, here to help you find balance and peace to live a more colorful life. And this is a video in which I will be exposing myself. I am answering your questions and your assumptions about me. So if you want to get to know me better, then stay tuned. I have a lot of fun questions. I tried to put everybody's questions in here as much as I could. I have no idea how long this is going to be, probably going to be a long video. And I just want you guys to know that this is just my personal opinions, the answers to these questions. It's not necessarily like what you should believe or what you should think. It's just about me and like what I think, what my opinions are. So I hope you guys enjoy. And I have my partner here who is off camera, who's gonna be asking me all of the questions. So are you ready?
Yeah.
I'm kind of scared, but actually I wanted to say real quick, I was expecting you guys to like really roast me because I've watched a lot of these types of videos on YouTube for some other YouTubers I follow, and some of their like these questions and assumptions were like intense and kind of mean, and you guys were so nice to me. I'm like, my heart is warmed. Everyone just said really nice things, and I'm like, wow, you guys are the real MVPs. So
No shade.
yeah, no shade. Thank you. So thank you guys so much. I think some of the questions might be a little interesting, but yeah, I guess you guys just decided to be really nice to me. So thank you for that. So.
Okay, so assumptions. You never want to live in the US again.
So I'm gonna say yes to that assumption. I definitely left the US for a reason. I feel like the US is a big part of the problem here on the planet. I really just couldn't take the politics and the energy there. I mean, I'm from California, so I had it pretty good, and I really loved the nature there, and the people there are some of the most amazing people in the world. But I love traveling, and I plan on maybe relocating to another country. I have a specific country on my mind, but that's kind of what this whole trip and this whole traveling adventure is for me, is to just explore the world and see if I can find a place that would be a good home. So stay tuned, you never know what could happen in the future, but for now, I really do not want to go back to the US to live.
So it's another assumption, and it really kind of sounds similar, but I'll ask it anyways.
Okay.
You are eventually going to move back to the US.
So I'm eventually going to move back to the US. Yeah, I feel like I just answered that question. That is definitely not the plan as of right now, but you never know. You never know what could happen.
Assumption. You are a foodie and like high-end clothing.
You are a foodie and like high-end clothing. Yes and yes. I do absolutely love food. There's nothing I love more than like unwinding at the end of a long night with like a delicious meal, but I might not be the kind of foodie that you think. I don't like to eat out very much because every time I eat out, I usually end up sick, right, John? Yeah, I mean, the past 3 birthdays I've had, because you know on your birthday you always go out to eat and you get like a treat and ice cream or something. I always end up like sick, hanging over the toilet every single birthday. And it's not because I'm drinking too much or something, it's literally because I always get food poisoning. So I have a real trouble with that, getting food poisoning and a really like sensitive stomach. But I would say that I'm a foodie because my husband John is an incredible chef. Like, I do not lift a finger in the kitchen. He makes amazing food. Like, everything is chopped perfectly. Like, anything I want. If I'm like, oh, I want a delicious sandwich, or oh, I want soup, he will make it, and it's so good. So eating healthy actually isn't very difficult at all when you have someone who can cook vegan or raw vegan or just whatever you want anytime you want it. And so I'm definitely a foodie, and yeah. Oh, high-end clothing. Yes, I love Marquez Almeida, I love Off-White, of course I love Dior, Chanel, Prada, all that good stuff. I'm into a lot of ethical, like high-end brands, and especially now since I'm living out of a suitcase. I have, what kind of suitcases? I have 2 carry-ons, right? That's it. I literally, all of my possessions, all of my clothes fit into 2 carry-ons. So I lately have been like replacing my clothing one by one with like a bunch of designer clothes and trying to like You know, if I have a pair of sneakers, it's like a nice pair and it's just one pair that I can wear all the time. Like I don't have room for much. And I think high-end clothing lasts a lot longer, especially when you know who made your clothes and it's not just gonna go into, like, you're not just throwing it away into a landfill. So I'm definitely into high-end clothing, and I, you know, as with my background in fashion, I loved the perks of that job and being able to get free clothes and stuff all the time. And yeah, I love high-end clothing. So yes, that would be yes.
Assumption. You are some kind of otherworldly entity that exudes knowledge, love, and spiritual guidance exactly when we mere mortals need it the most.
I don't know how to answer that question. I'm definitely human. I'm just like everyone else here. I have my good days. I have my bad days. I'm definitely very intuitive. And when it goes to like what I post on my channel and what I want to share with people, a lot of it's just from my personal experience. I've been through a lot in my life. I've learned so much, and my passion is speaking. My passion is sharing with others. And so I think it's so cool how you guys resonate with the messages. But I'm definitely human. I'm definitely from this world, and I think that's really sweet though. That's really cute.
Assumption. You are vegan for sure.
You are vegan for sure. Okay, so here's the thing. I'm not vegan right now. I am eating butter and cheese, right? I really love brie. Cheese is my weakness, okay? But I don't eat it every day, and it just happens to be because I'm in a country right now that's very difficult to be vegan in. So if I have the opportunity to be vegan, I will be vegan. It was very difficult to be vegan in France. But yeah, I was raw vegan for, like, when I lived in Los Angeles, I was 100% raw vegan, and I felt the healthiest I've ever felt in my life. I love being vegan. I don't like the idea that, you know, what they're doing to the animals and the industry surrounding that. I've been vegetarian since I was 15. So I haven't eaten meat since I was 15 years old. And so 100%, I will never eat meat again. I can't bring myself to do that. I love animals too much. And I feel the same way. I don't eat eggs. But yeah, occasionally I have cheese and butter, but there's always things you can replace that with. It's just right now it's kind of hard where I'm living, but I'm moving to another country in 2 weeks for 3 months, and I'm hoping I can go back on my raw vegan path then. So I don't know. I really feel like there's no excuses. I should just be raw vegan, but yeah, right now I'm kind of not, but usually I am.
Assumption. You are an earth sign or a water sign?
So I'm an earth sign or a water sign? No, I'm actually an air sign. My husband would beg to differ because he loves, what is that called? Sidereal astrology. In tropical normal astrology, I'm an Aquarius. I'm an Aquarius sun and I'm an Aquarius moon. And I'm an Venus in Aquarius. I got tons of stuff in Aquarius in my chart. So I'm an air sign and I identify with that. But according to John, he does sidereal astrology, which is based on what? What is like that all about?
Tropical is like more of like local seasonal philosophy, whereas sidereal is more based on the actual current position of the stars, where they are in the sky geometrically, all that stuff.
Okay, so according to him, sidereal astrology is like more legit. So technically, I would be a Capricorn in sidereal astrology. So I guess your assumption is right with me being an earth sign, and I do kind of identify with Capricorn because I'm like a hard worker, and I'm just like climbing, and I'm like I work very hard, and I'm kind of like a workaholic kind of person, but I still identify as Aquarius. Like, I'm a free spirit 100%. Like, I'm an air sign. I really love climbing up somewhere that's really high and feeling the wind blow on my face and like sticking my head out the window when I'm driving. Like, I love that. I love feeling the air. I love feeling the wind. I'm always thinking about like abstract thoughts, and I'm a free spirit. I've always been kind of different. So yeah, I'm an Aquarius 100%, but you could be right about the earth sign. Also, you know, thinking I'm a water sign makes sense because I'm very sensitive and I'm very intuitive. Those are qualities that are very present with those who are water signs. So your assumptions are honestly right. It's just technically I am an Aquarius.
Assumption. You were an introverted and cute child when you were little, and you were also playful.
So I was an introverted and cute child when I was little and also playful. Part of that is right. I definitely was cute. I definitely was playful, but I was not introverted. always been an extrovert. Like when I was little, I was always the kid that sang the national anthem at the football games and the baseball games, and I was like the lead in my school play, and I was always wanting to be in front of my class, and you know, I loved show and tell and getting to sit up in front of the class and like show them my dolls, and like I've always been really outgoing and never had a problem getting on stage or getting up in front of people from a very young age. So
assumption, you dyed your hair into a fancy color at least once.
So I dyed my hair into a fancy color at least once. Actually, that would be no. I just started dyeing my hair last year. I dyed it black. I'll insert a photo here so maybe you guys can see. And then the recent color I've been going obviously is more like light brown and blonde. I actually think I might want to go blonder. I just want to try it. It's just really fun. And then you can see my roots here. This is my natural color. So I have like just brown hair, and I've wanted to dye it like pink or purple or something, and I guess I could, because it doesn't matter. Like, you know, I don't have to show up at like a day job. I wouldn't get in trouble for that or anything, but yeah, I haven't done it yet, but maybe I should. Maybe I should dye it rainbow. All right.
Assumption, maybe your aura is green or pink or purple.
So maybe my aura is green or pink or purple. That's really interesting. My aura actually is green. It's yellow and green. And I know a lot about colors and color theory, and so green is all about healing, and yellow is all about communication. So your aura can actually tell you a lot about your purpose or your energy. Mine is healing and communication. So my aura is green and yellow, and those are my favorite colors. So because of that.
Assumption, you don't want to have children.
Oh, it's an interesting one. So I don't want to have children. Well, I'm kind of on the fence about it. My clock is starting to tick. And I've thought about it and talked about it with John a lot. I worked with children for 13 years, specifically infants. And that was what my whole day was for 13 years of my life. Like 5 days a week was being with kids. And I spent a lot of time working with kids and helping kids, and like I said, specifically infants. So I love children. I get along so well with them. They're so much fun. But after that, like, I just left that job a couple years ago. And so I just feel like I need time to myself away from the kids. I'm traveling right now. I'm really enjoying my freedom, enjoying my partner, and just having fun, and doing this work is so time intensive. I don't see how I'd be able to, you know, help a child right now until I get to a point in my life where I'm a little bit more settled, if I ever do want to do that. I'm such a free spirit. But I have talked about adopting. I would love to adopt a child, specifically because of what I went through in the past. I know what it's like to be neglected as a child, and I would love to take a child from a situation that's rough and give them a new life. My sister-in-law actually adopted, and they're having an incredible experience. And yeah, I would love to adopt or foster, maybe even later in life if I don't end up having a child. Maybe later in life, I'd love to foster or even adopt, you know, preteens or teenagers and give them a future and an education. And so I think at some point there will definitely be children in my life. I'm just not sure if I'll have one biologically or if it'll be anytime soon. So I'm just kind of like, whatever happens, whatever my intuition guides me to do. So. But I'm totally cool with people who don't have children. I might decide that. Still not sure. I do love children, but I don't know. Like, I'm just gonna have to see what happens, and I don't think you should have to have children. I think it's like a personal choice. So.
Assumption, you drink a lot.
You drink a lot. I would say that was true if I was like 21 or something. I definitely, when I was younger, I had a party phase. Like, I definitely drank a lot. But now I don't, because alcohol really, first of all, I'm just gonna be real, it affects your skin. John's looking at me because I drank wine, like, okay, so,
you have moments.
Don't give me that look. Okay, so, okay, he's laughing at me because our landlord, here in Georgia, the country I'm in, not the state, the country, Georgia. I'm in Tbilisi right now, and they make really good homemade wine. So he brought us a bunch of homemade wine. So I've been drinking that. but just like a glass or two a day. And other than that, I don't go and seek out alcohol. Like maybe, once a week or every other week, I will drink something, but I'm very conscious because it affects my skin. And I noticed that when I was 21, 22 and going out to the bar every night with all my friends, I started noticing like I was aging and looking crazy. My skin was cracking. And I was like, oh my God, it's the alcohol. So I'm not really a drinker. I don't drink a lot. I will definitely drink on New Year's. I'll definitely drink on my birthday. And I'll try local wines. I like wine. That's pretty much it. Maybe a glass every once in a while, but certainly not a glass a day. Certainly, like anything that becomes a habit in your life starts to really affect your skin. Also, I will say, it's hard to drink alcohol when you are doing readings because alcohol is a depressant and it will lower your vibration. So for me, in order to do this job, I can't really drink a lot because it literally affects my ability to do readings. So yeah, there's that.
Assumption, you are rich.
So the assumption is I am rich. And I would say yes, I am very rich and more abundant than I've ever been in my life. And I feel rich and my abundance is increasing more and more every day. I'm not sure what kind of rich you're thinking about because I feel like that's relative. I definitely don't have a yacht yet. I'm not like dripping in gold and yet. I'm not dripping in gold and diamonds. I'm trying to be resourceful with my money and what I have, but I'm definitely very abundant and I'm so thankful for that. And that's something that changed recently in the past couple of years with my work with the law of attraction and, really getting on my true path. So that's something I want to teach everyone how to do, is how to increase your finances, how to increase your abundance, which is something I've done. So
assumption, you have a dark past.
Oh yeah. So the assumption is you have a dark past, and the answer would be yes. I talked a little bit on the channel about how I come from a background of abuse. Now, I don't like to define myself by that, but yeah, definitely. I think anybody who's doing healing work, you've gone through something, you've healed from it, and you want to help others. In fact, I'm still healing from it. I've talked openly about how I have CPTSD, which is complex PTSD. I have anxiety. I've also been diagnosed with depression. So my dark past has definitely affected me. But I feel like the contrast that we have here in life is what kind of helps us to, when we have that ability to shine light on the past and to learn how to integrate that and how to embrace it as part of your experience. I'm going all rainbow harmony on you guys, but I think that's what life is all about. So yes, I have a dark past, and one day I would love to share with you guys exactly what I went through. It was absolutely horrific, and it's changed me, and in a way it's kind of made me who I am as far as like the choices I've made to heal from that. I would never thank the people that hurt me, but I thank myself for the choices I've made to allow myself to turn that into like a catalyst for my greatest good. So in short, yes, I have a dark past.
Assumption, you are an expert at manifesting.
Assumption, you are an expert at manifesting. I would say yes. Like, I was just telling John that every month on the new moon, I make like a list and I make a Pinterest board full of pictures of like what I want to manifest for the month, whether it's something material or it's something internal, like I want to feel more inner peace or more happiness, whether it's something for the future. I also do this on the new year and on the lunar new year every year, and I go through the manifestation process. If you're interested, check out the playlist called Manifest with Me in March. And you can watch videos of how to manifest with the moon cycle, even if it's not March. But I want to teach you guys more about this because this has changed my life. Like, yes, I manifested infinite travel. I manifested infinite abundance. I manifested more peace and more happiness and more balance into my life. And I've manifested a lot of really random things too, just like random things I want, which is really cool. Like, it's amazing. I would say, yes, I am an expert at manifesting.
Assumption, you are an absolutely amazing and wonderful person.
Oh my gosh. You are an absolutely amazing and wonderful person. I don't know what to say to that. I would like to think that, and that is really sweet. See what I mean? Nobody's roasting me. Everyone's just saying all these nice things, but that's really sweet. I think you put good out in the universe, you get good back, you know? I'm really thankful for that. Thank you for saying that.
Assumption, you are living your dream.
Aw, you are living your dream. Yes. I am living my dream, and I'm getting to that point where I'm not afraid that the shoe is gonna drop, the other shoe is gonna drop anymore. I'm not afraid that I'm gonna wake up and it's all gonna disappear and go away. Like, it's just getting better and better every day. I've fought so hard to get here, and I'm so thankful, and I am living my dream. This is what I always wanted. I always wanted to travel the world. I always wanted to have my own business where I could work online and make my own hours. I always wanted to be able to just like sleep in if I want, or just be spontaneous. Like, I really feel like I'm living in absolute freedom, and it's incredible. It's incredible, and I am living my dream.
You don't like cold. When it's winter, you're jetting off to a warmer place.
So I don't like cold. When it's winter, I'm jetting off to a warmer place. I would say that's true. You know, I do love wearing cute sweaters and jackets and scarves and like drinking tea and like watching the rain fall, and I love the snow, but if it's too cold, like, I'm from California, I've got warm blood, I'm very sensitive, so yeah, last winter I spent it in Italy, and it was cold. Like, this is like southern part of Europe, but I was like freezing. I think last winter we also came over here to Tbilisi, and it was freezing. I mean, right below Russia, freezing. I had to get this huge jacket with like fake fur, not real fur, fake fur on it, and it was like intense, like bundled up like a freaking snowman or something walking down the street. It was crazy. And now it's about to get cold here, and we're leaving to go to another country that's more southern. So yes, that's probably true.
Assumption, you help a lot of your viewers step out of complacency and onto their destined path, especially empaths and light workers.
Oh, that's so cool. So I help a lot of people step out of complacency onto their true path as empaths and light workers. I would like to think so. I just want, if you're interested in living a life of abundance, or you have a certain goal, or you have a certain dream, like, I love inspiring people to go after that. That's what I've always done. I remember even back when I was a child, or like back in high school, like, I always liked hearing about what people were passionate about. I always loved talking to people about what they want to do and what they're passionate about, and I've always encouraged my friends and the people that I'm around to go for it, and I've always tried to do that myself. I just feel like life can be so miserable sometimes when you have these secret dreams or secret fantasies and you're not making a place for that in your life, you know? So I would like to think that I'm helping inspire people out of complacency into taking action and just making their life more flavorful, you know, more colorful. Like I say, Rainbow Harmony, here to help you find balance and peace to live a more colorful life. That colorful part is just like putting that spark back into your life, so.
Assumption, you are still recovering from childhood traumas, but doing a great job at it.
Aw. So you're still recovering from childhood traumas, but doing a great job at it. Yeah, I am definitely still recovering from childhood traumas. I still have nightmares about it. I still have occasionally bad days where I'm worried about it. I still have to do therapy and, a lot of journaling and healing from it. And I think a lot of it, too, is just when you're going through something like that, accepting, like realizing it's okay to be depressed sometimes. I'm good. Yeah, I went through a lot of shit, so this is gonna be coming up. Learning how to kind of live with it, learning how to just accept it as part of your life and not to think that there's anything wrong with you or that you have to completely make it go away. Learning to accept that you're a work in progress. These are all things that I'm kind of doing, but yeah, it's true.
Assumption, you tend to wear your heart on your sleeve.
So assumption, I tend to wear my heart on my sleeve. Yeah, I think recently, the past couple of years, I've learned how to have more boundaries with people, but I've always been like this, even in romantic relationships. Like, if I had feelings for someone or I like someone, then I would just tell them, I would be honest, I would confess my love. And some people like ran away from me because of that, because they're just like, whoa, this chick is too much. But I love that quote that says, to some people you'll be too much, but to the right people you're just enough. And I found that just by being real, wearing my heart on my sleeve, is how I've attracted the most amazing people who are straight up with me. But at the same time, it's important to have healthy boundaries. That's something I had to work on. So, yep, I wear my heart on my sleeve.
Assumption, assumption, you have to be careful with your energy because some people try to drain it.
Yeah. So I have to be careful with my energy because some people try to drain it. That's true. It's a lot easier now that I'm traveling and I'm moving locations, and when I make friends, I hang out with them, but then I can move, keep them in a distance. I have really close friends I still stay in contact with. But yeah, it's true. Even sometimes clients I have to have boundaries with. Most people, I honestly have such a great experience with all my clients, everyone on this channel, but there have been some people I've had to turn away and say, no, like, I can't help you, like, because it's too much. Or I've had to, like I say on the channel, like, it's, don't always answer that phone call. Don't always, open the door to that person if they're going to drain your energy. In the past, I had so many people that were just draining my energy, and I tend to attract a lot of narcissists and a lot of toxic people. So now that I'm aware and I know the signs, that I have healthy boundaries, it's helped me so much. I haven't had any problems with this, have I? Ever since I decided to travel, I was just like, it's kind of more about me now and less about all the other people. So
assumption, you love animals.
Assumption, you love animals. Yes, I love animals. I make friends with animals wherever I go. In fact, this is TMI, but I just recently got a rash on my hand from petting a stray cat. I got rid of it though, pretty much.
It wasn't totally stray.
Yeah, it wasn't. He was really sweet. We named him Curtis. I'll put a picture of him.
But it was questionable.
He was a little questionable. He had really dry skin. I was petting him a lot, and he would always come up to me, and yeah. I've made friends with random goats, before. I used to, when I used to go get therapy, in the old town I lived in, across the street there was this sheep and this big old goat, and I named him Abraham, and he was huge and scary, but I kind of tamed him, and I would pet him and feed him, and he was so sweet with me. And I just love the animals. I love the birds. I whistle and talk to the birds. John does it too. So yeah, we're whistling. I'm dragging you in. He loves animals. He's actually really good with animals. They flock to him. It's crazy. When we first got our first bird, I had no idea what to do, and he just started taming it and making friends with it. And yeah, I love animals. I'd love to have an animal rescue farm. I'd love to be around tons of animals. I imagine that. I even had an encounter with a bear once when I was hiking alone, which I do not suggest you do, and I will never do again. But the bear was actually really nice, and it just kind of let me pass, and that's a story for another time. But then I had an encounter with a cougar. That one was scarier. But anyways, I do love animals, and that's the hardest thing about traveling, is not being able to take an animal with you. I'd love to get a dog and travel with a dog, and I could probably even get a service animal because of my PTSD and anxiety and depression and stuff, but it's just a hassle and really difficult on the animal, I think, and so, I don't know. I really miss animals, so.
Assumption, you have a beautiful singing voice, and they say also because your speaking voice is clear and resonant.
Oh wow. Nice little compliment. I know. So I have a beautiful singing voice because my speaking voice is clear and resonant. I love to sing. I actually put a couple songs that I sing up here on the channel if you dig a little bit. And I'm gonna be releasing music. John is a music producer, and he actually produces all the music you hear on my channel, and we've written tons of music together. I have a whole folder full of, how many songs do you think I have? 10, 15?
Please.
I have at least 10 or 15 songs, and we're currently producing them, and I'll put some up on the channel for you guys just for fun. I love music, I love singing. That was my first love. I started singing when I was 2 or 3, performing in front of audiences when I was little. And I'd like to think I have a good singing voice, but it's just fun for me, so I do love to sing, so yeah.
Assumption, you give your all in relationships.
Oh, so I give my all in relationships? Yes, I do. An Aquarius, I'm a free spirit, so I have a very difficult time with commitment. Like, I couldn't even, like, call John my husband for the first, like, 3 years. Like, I still call him my partner. I have a difficult time with yeah, as you can tell now I'm
say it.
I can't even say it, with commitment. I have a difficult time with it. I'm an Aquarius and I'm a free spirit, and I love having different connections with different people, and in the past I always had a lot of different romantic partners and whatnot, but I do give my all. Once an Aquarius commits, like, we commit hardcore, and yeah, I guess I would say I do give my all, even in friendships. Like, when I'm best friends or close friends with someone, I try really hard to be nice and to be, like, never say anything mean, and to not judge, and to just be open and just give my all. Like, I always do. I've been treated poorly in the past in relationships and friendships, and, like, I know how that feels, and I don't ever want to make someone feel that way. So yes, I give my all.
Assumption, you are very creative and get lightning bolts of inspiration while doing ordinary tasks.
Okay, so I'm very creative and I get lightning bolts of what? Of inspiration while I'm doing ordinary tasks. Yes, part of that might be the ADHD, but yeah, I do. I get creative, definitely sparks of insight.
Aquariuses are ruled by Uranus.
Yeah, Aquarius. John says Aquariuses are ruled by Uranus, so yeah, I will, have a little note open on my phone, and I have all these folders of, like, art things I want to make, and paintings I want to do, and readings I want to do. I have a whole list of videos and things I want to do for the channel. Like, I don't even know how I'm going to get to all of it. This has actually been on my list for so long. It finally came up, and I finally felt like, yes, let's do it. So yeah, definitely very creative.
I think we're getting to some, like, semi-shade questions.
Ooh, you guys are gonna shade me, finally! Oh my gosh, let's get the tea.
The way you shuffle cards is different than others. It's kind of unique in its own.
Oh, yeah, this is the one negative comment that I will get on my channel, is that, like, why do you shuffle like that? Many different, multiple people have said that my shuffling gives them anxiety. I don't know. You guys, here's the thing. I never learned how to shuffle properly. John can do it. He's like, doo-doo. I hear the sound and I'm like, wow. And it's so satisfying. And I've been on other people's channels where they just, like, split the deck and they lay them out. That's why I try to have the spreads laid out before I do the readings, because I'm just, like, over the comments on it. And I don't want to, like, just already have the cards pulled. But in personal readings, you will see me, like, totally shuffling the cards, and it's just what works for me. The first time I ever picked up a deck, my mentor told me, like, just shuffle whatever feels natural, and I didn't even know how to shuffle, so I just took the cards, slammed them together, and a card came out that was so on point, and that's what works for me. Like, I don't want to change it. I don't want to try something different, really, because I know what works for me, and, like, I get on point cards for myself and for other people every time. Like, I just shuffle like that, and I really feel like the cards just fly from the deck, and I don't know, like, I like the card falling from the deck on its own versus just splitting the deck and pulling a card. I like that, like, giving the cards an opportunity to kind of sort themselves and just fall out on their own. I don't know, it feels more real to me that way, and yeah. So that's all I have to say about my shuffling. It is what it is.
Assumption, tarot was a hobby, and then you realized you were actually good at it.
That's true. Yeah, tarot was a hobby, and then I realized I was good at it. Yeah, I just picked up the tarot for myself as part of my healing process. I was getting readings, working with, like, a spiritual mentor, and I was also working with a licensed therapist. I always tell people, if you need help, the tarot and spiritual work is just one spoke on the wheel. We're body, mind, and spirit. So work on your spirit, but also get a licensed therapist. That's a whole other tangent. But I also had a mentor, and I was getting readings from her, and she was so amazing, helped me so much. And I, decided to pick up the tarot because she kind of turned me on to it. And I started working with it, and I was getting like really on point messages. I started pulling cards for my husband, and then my friends were coming over. I was so excited. I was pulling cards for them, and everybody was like, wow, that was a great reading, or that card really helped me. And I just really realized I enjoyed that. And yeah, I decided to make a channel on it just for fun, to do readings. Like, I think I started with daily readings, just readings for the day, just random messages from the tarot, because I loved it and I wanted to share it with people and find more people who were into it. And then fast forward like 3 years later, it's like a whole business, another thing. It's crazy. So yeah, I just kind of fell into it. It was so random. If you would have told me a couple years ago that I would be doing the tarot as like part of my career, I would have just laughed and been like, what? But here I am. Yeah, loving it.
Okay. Last assumption here.
Last assumption.
You love Christmas time.
I love Christmas time. That is wrong. Right, John? I hate Christmas time. And I think a lot of people who have gone through abuse or lived with abusers, a lot of people who are narcissistic or who have mental illness or who are toxic or dysfunctional or whatever, tend to act up around the holidays. And there's tons of information on this if you want to research it. If there's anyone in your family or anyone you know who is, abusing you around the holidays or just seems to get worse around the holidays. But the holidays were always a really hectic time for me growing up. It was a time where I would receive a lot. Most of the abuse I would get was around the holidays. And so that time of year, yeah, I guess you could say maybe I have seasonal depression. Like, I tend to be pretty happy, but I don't like Christmas, and I don't like that time of year. I like New Year's, I guess, but there's just a lot of bad memories, and I tend to have worse PTSD that time of year. So I love to go to countries where they don't celebrate Christmas. Like, that's what's nice. Like, around the holidays, I want to go somewhere where that isn't in my face. But if it is, it does help being in other countries, because every country kind of celebrates the holidays differently, and I love that. It's very healing to me to be in surroundings that aren't familiar. And John's reminding me that I actually have a Skype session with someone, so I'm gonna have to like stop this video and then come back, so you'll see me in a little bit. But anyways, to wrap it up, I do not really like Christmas, but I do like to celebrate like the New Year. I like to celebrate gosh, I forgot what solstice. Yeah, I like to celebrate winter solstice, and I'm currently making my own traditions for that part of the year. Usually on Christmas, my husband and I, we just drink. Last year we had limoncello because we were in Italy, and we just like watched movies and like just kind of chilled and like just cuddle, and we just spend the holiday together, and kind of unplug, and it's nice. And sometimes I like to go live on the holidays. I did that last year for anyone who is having a hard time, because I know not some people spend the holidays alone, and since I'm pretty much alone on the holidays, I like to connect with other people who are like that and pull cards for them or just give them hope. So I kind of want to make that a tradition too, is just like being there for other people on the holidays, and having other people be there for me. It's a hard time of the year for me, and but it's nice. You guys help me out a lot, because I tend to have like a lot of work, because I'm doing the yearly reviews for people. So I do yearly reviews, and I get tons of orders for that. So I spend the holidays working on everyone's New Year readings, and that's really nice. It like gives me something to do, and yeah, I do not like the holidays, and I usually can't wait for them to be over. So anyways, stay tuned to part 2. It's a Q&A, and I'm probably just gonna splice it into this. If you've made it this far, you've watched all this, thank you. I'm just having fun going through these questions, and I knew this was gonna be a long video, but I'll see you in part 2, and I'm gonna answer the questions that you guys actually asked about me and everything. So I'll see you soon.